Alright, Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone, my fellow friends and my lecturer. My name is Muhammad NAIM bin MAZLAN. I am from TESOL 2 and I am from Institut Pendidikan Guru Kampus Temenggong Ibrahim, Johor Bahru. So, in this video or in this presentation, I will be discussing about a transformative initiative in Malaysia's education system, which is the Malaysian Education Blueprint or PPPM Pelan Pembangunan Pendidikan Malaysia 2013 to 2025. So, uh, let us so this is a blueprint which is one of the most ambitious educational reforms in our history, with the aims to elevate the Malaysia's education system quality to a globally competitive level by addressing some of the key challenges, implementing strategic changes, and enhancing the role of the educators. So, in this, by the end of this presentation, we will understand what is PPPM and why it was introduced, the key aspirations and strategies behind its implementation, and the impact it has on the teachers or the education system as a whole. So before we start our topic today, uh, I just want to say that as future educators, it is not it is very crucial for us not only to understand the policy but also to contribute to its success. So, what is PPPM? PPPM or Pelan Pembangunan Pendidikan Malaysia was officially an initiative launched by the Ministry of Education in Malaysia in 2013. It is a roadmap to transform education to ensure the quality, the equity, and the efficiency of our education system. It was launched by Ministry of Education Malaysia to improve the quality, accessibility, and competitiveness of our education system, like I said earlier, in order to become competitive to a global one. So it introduces major reforms in curriculum, assessment, teacher training, and digital learning. So in this presentation, I will cover about four key areas, which is the national aspirations, implementations of PPPM, and the direction of PPPM or the 11 shifts, and the implications on the teachers. So, why was PPPM was introduced? So, there are many reasons. The first one is declining PISA and TIMSS rankings. PISA means the international rankings of the students. So before PPPM, Malaysia's performance in PISA or stands for Program for International Student Assessment, or TIMSS, which is Trends in International Mathematics and Science Studies, showed a downward trend. For example, in PISA 2009, Malaysian students ranked below the international average in reading, mathematics, and science. So that is one of the first issues. The second one is the educational disparities or unequal access to quality education. So there was a huge gap between urban and rural schools. Schools in cities had better access to qualified teachers, technology, and more high quality learning materials. So while rural schools struggle to get all of this because they are have limited resources, limited and outdated infrastructure. Then, which is outdated curriculum not preparing students for the future. So, we all know that the world is changing rapidly with technological advancements, automation, and global competitiveness. And so, uh, the curriculum in Malaysia are not preparing students for the future, especially in this 21st century. Then, the teacher workload and lack of professional development. So now we are moving on to the nine to the five key aspirations, national aspirations for PPPM, which is PPPM is guided by five key aspirations that serves as the backbone of all the educational improvements. The first one is access, which means education for all. education for all means every children, regardless of their background, their where they are come from, their races, their belief, every child must have access to high quality education. Then quality. Quality means raising the performance of the students. So the Malaysia Education System Ministry of Education in Malaysia aims to raise the quality of student performance so that we are we will become one of the most top one third of countries in PISA and TIMSS rankings because we I just mentioned earlier that before PPPM was introduced, Malaysia's PISA and TIMSS rankings are way down below the average of international education students. So then we have the equity, which is to close the education gap between the high performing and low performing students to ensure that the fair educational opportunities. Because we must understand that high why there are high performing and low performing students. High performing students may come from high income families, so they have a better access to education, to technology, to the educational materials compared to the low performing schools, no, low performing students, which may have a low quality access of education or limited access because they lack in budget, money, or they live in rural areas. The the education technology cannot reach them. So the fourth um, national aspirations is about unity. So when it comes to unity in our mind, we must think about a lot of people from different kind of background unite together, right? So unity is to strengthening national identity uh, by promoting multicultural understanding in schools. Like we have program Gotong Royong that um, consists of not only just Malay, not only just Chinese, not only just Indians. We combine all of them in order for them to cooperate with each other, to know each other, and to foster the national identity. We also can see that fostering national identity, it is done by many Malaysian educational figures. Like we have Zaba, we have Datuk Seri Aminuddin Baki. They always talk about to foster the national identity for the students through education. Then we have efficiency, which is about all about effective policy implementation and ensuring cost-effective and high impact improvements in education, which means that our Ministry of Education wants to use the lowest cost possible in order to, but they want a high impact uh, results or improvements in our education so that we can use the resources for other we can use more of the resources for other purpose. So that is the five no that is and oh, before we forgot, I forgot. We have also accountability, which is public involvement in education, which means that we involve the teachers or the students into public for them to collaborate with the community. So that is the six national aspirations for PPPM, which is the first one is access, second one is quality, equity, accountability, efficiency, and unity. And all of these six aspirations are very important as these are the backbones of the national aspirations for PPPM in order for PPPM to um, be successful. Now we are moving to the 11 shifts in PPPM. 11 shifts in PPPM. The first one, the 11 key shifts are introduced to fundamentally change the education system. We have 11 here, as you can see. The first one is equal access to quality education, which means that all children, regarding from all backgrounds, have equal access to quality education, regarding they are from rural areas or the urban areas. Then the proficiency in Bahasa Melayu and English. So we all know that Bahasa Melayu is our national language, right? And English is the most spoken language. No, it is the second most spoken language in the world. So, uh, Ministry of Education in Malaysia wants to equip their students with the knowledge to speak our national language uh, fluently, and also to speak the English fluently, because if they want to continue their study abroad or overseas, they will use English language in order to communicate with other people. The next one is learning an additional language. Learning an additional language. Yeah, we have Bahasa Melayu, we have English as our basics, right? So it is very important to learn an additional language to in to increase, to make sure that we are highly adaptable. We It means that wherever country we go, for example, like we when we go to Japan, when we go there and the people and we speak with the people there who cannot speak English, we can speak in their language, because when we speak in our language, they don't understand. When we speak in English, they cannot understand so much. So it is better to learn their language instead. So the teaching as the career of choice by this is by improving the teacher recruitment, training, and career pathways, like increasing like promotions or increasing the salary of the teachers. Then transforming school leadership. So it school leadership means the decision making of the school. Like we want to empower the uh, school leadership by training and empowering principals and school administrators in order for them to be able to make a more to make a better decision. Then we have autonomy for JPN, PPD, and schools. JPN is the education education organization. PPD is also educational organization, uh, but on the street and schools. Then parents, community, and private sector as partners. Then transforming curriculum and assessment, enhancing learning through technology, which like using the digital classroom. We have digital classroom. We have Google Classroom and Google Meet, right? So yeah, this is what it means by enhancing learning through technology. Then ethical student autonomy, and finally transparency and accountability in education. Transparency means that the teachers will hide nothing from the parents, and accountability means the reliability of the teacher to solve the problem or the task given. Then we are moving to the implementation strategies of PPPM. So, um, implementation of PPPM, we have three waves, which is the first one. With each of the waves have its own objectives. So the first one is wave one, which is all about laying the foundation that starts from 2013 to 2015. So it is about strengthening the foundation by tackling urgent issues like literacy and numeracy, which is through new teacher training programs, curriculum reformation, and increased school funding for rural areas. So school funding for rural areas are very important for them to to improve the quality of the facilities there, the educational materials there. Then we have the wave two, which is about strengthening the system, which is this is where the Ministry of Education introduced the introduction of digital classroom. Digital classrooms like the Google Classroom, where the teachers can save their work and the students can upload their homework onto online platform, which is Google Classroom, Google Meet. Then the Ministry of Education also wants to focus on STEM education. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So, because they see that this kind of education are very important for the students who wants to study in the industrial sector, in the skills sector, like uh, 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 pipe and pipe and gas, uh, when they want to work on the oil rig. So the STEM education are very important. Then improved assessment system. Then we have the third wave, which is from 2021 until this year, which is 2025, which is all about achieving excellence. So, how the education, our education system wants to achieve excellence? Uh, More autonomy for schools. It means that the schools have more power to make their own decisions. Then we have encouraging innovation in teaching, which is the teachers are encouraged to uh, build a more holistic approach, more creative approach to the students. Then making the Malaysia as an international education hub by enrich the students in Malaysia with more kinds of knowledge so that the students from other countries can come to Malaysia and learn from our students. Then we have the implications on the teachers. So implications on the teachers are more professional development and training, which is like the continuous training on ICT integration and student-centered teaching. Like the teachers are going to continuous course to understand, to have to learn more skills about the approach to teach the students and so on. Then we have improved work-life balance to reduce workload. Like it means that reduced administrative burden with the automation of attendance tracking and student performance analysis. So it means that we want to reduce the workload of the teacher as much as possible, so that the teacher won't have, for example, like the teacher don't have to use the to write the attendance for the students manually anymore. They can just do it online without with minimum use of resources. Then, when they want to analyze the student performance, they can just also do it online. You do it digitally, right? You mean then greater teaching autonomy, which is increased teaching autonomy, creativity, which is the teacher can use any kind of approach that they feel like suitable and they want to use for the students in order to make the learning session more interactive, interesting, and more efficient. For example, like the teacher can use flipped classrooms, gamifications, and project-based learning, which means that they can do you know like a gallery walk where the students walk from their station to another student station to learn something from them, so that makes the whole interaction program, the whole learning program becomes more interactive between the students and also the teachers, so they can get to know each other better. They can, yeah, rather than sitting on the same seat for the for the whole class, right, it will be very boring, and the the students will be very boring to will not feel interested to learn what the teacher are trying to say. So now, so that are the implications on the teachers. So now we are moving for the challenges and future improvement of PPM, which is the first one is to ensuring equal access to technology for rural schools, which means that the how the Ministry of Education in Malaysia are going to improve the technology, especially for rural schools, because we all know that rural schools have limited kind of technology, like um, and compared to those schools in urban cities. For example, like schools in Sabah and Sarawak, which don't have uh, a good technology that can be used by the teachers to teach. Some of the rural schools right now in Malaysia don't even have a projector. Meanwhile, the projector are a common need to for the education in our country right now. Then the next challenges and future improvement are reducing teacher workload while maintaining quality teaching. Then enhancing technical and vocational education TVET, which is TVET is about the skills education in students, because not all students are good are good in performance in academic. So the Ministry of Education can enhance technical and vocational education TVET in order to give them a second chance. Then we have global competitiveness. So, like Malaysia must continue, continue evolving its education policies to in order to remain globally competitive with other countries. So the government is prioritizing the teacher quality, technology, integration, and international collaboration. So now we are heading to the final part of my presentation today, which is now I will conclude and reflect. So in conclusion, PPPM 2013 to 2025 is a very bold initiative in order to shape the Malaysia's future education landscape. So as future educators, it is our responsibility to embrace these kind of changes and contribute in developing a generation that is globally competitive, technologically skilled, and ethically grounded. So I think that is all from my presentation today. I hope that you find my presentation today helpful and beneficial. So until we meet again, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and goodbye.